Deep in the eerie ocean floor, the legendary golden breastplate was hidden. Countless warriors would have died for a relic like this. Kubo dove down into the water and climbed inside the golden armor. The second he touched it, a blast of golden light exploded out, and that light woke up the monster beneath the lake. Two massive golden eyes slowly opened in the dark. This was no ordinary monster. It was the Garden of Eyes, a creature that could swallow your mind. The moment you looked into its eyes, you fell straight into a hallucination. Kubo was caught in the golden light, and his body started slipping out of control. Right before his mind collapsed, he saw the truth that had been hidden from him. The monkey who had protected him all this time was actually his mother, Sariatu. She had placed her soul inside the charm, so she could return to Kubo's side. In that moment, Kubo finally understood. His mother had never truly left him, but that truth came too late. His body was already sinking deeper. Hanzo rushed into the water just in time and fired arrow after arrow. The monster was driven back by the glowing shots, and Hanzo pulled Kubo out. Up on the surface, Sariatu was locked in a brutal fight with Karasu. Karasu was the assassin sent by the Moon King, Raiden. Her target was Kubo's remaining eye. Sariatu was already covered in wounds, but she still stood in front of her son, because to her, Kubo was never just some mission. He was the one life she wanted to protect more than anything. In the end, Sariatu used the last of her strength to kill her own sister, Karasu. Hanzo carried the unconscious Kubo and struggled back up to the surface. Sariatu ignored her own injuries and ran straight to Kubo. She pulled him into her arms and kept calling his name. Her voice was filled with fear and pain. Kubo slowly opened his eyes, and the magic inside him burst out too. The broken leaf boat was rebuilt by his power. And in that moment, Kubo finally recognized his mother. Sariatu stopped hiding the truth and decided to tell him everything. Years earlier, Hanzo had been the greatest warrior in the human world. His strength was so great that it had become a threat to the heavens. The Moon King Raiden could not accept that a human could become that powerful, so he sent his daughter Sariatu down to the human world to kill Hanzo herself. But when Sariatu met Hanzo, she felt human emotion for the first time, and somewhere in the middle of that battle, they fell in love. By loving each other, they also betrayed the Moon King's command. Later, they had Kubo, and that completely enraged Raiden. He believed human love made gods weak, so he wanted to take Kubo's eyes and destroy their family for good. Hanzo gave his life to protect his wife and child. Sariatu escaped with Kubo, and from then on, they hid away in a cave. After hearing all of that, Kubo finally fell asleep from exhaustion. In his dream, he met an old man who pointed him toward the third sacred item, but Kubo had no idea that old man was actually the Moon King, Raiden. The next day, Kubo followed the direction from his dream and traveled west. Together with Sariatu and Hanzo, he arrived at his father's old castle. This place had once belonged to Hanzo, and it held the clue to the final sacred item. But the moment they entered the castle, they realized it had already been turned into a trap. Washi appeared out of the black mist and coldly stared at the three of them. She sealed